the community library here in Ballymahon. And it's lovely to see such a big crowd of friends and family and neighbours and the wider community here in Ballymahon gathered here this evening for a very special person.
I've got a letter here from Lorraine. Now, many of you will know Lorraine's an artist, and she and Valerie have collaborated a number of times before. She's responsible for this fine cover on the new book. And Lorraine sent this message over from Korea. Some days being the other side of the world is not easy. I like to think of myself as Mum's biggest fan. I grew up watching her write from a notebook to a typewriter, from a laptop to a phone. She will write anywhere, anytime. I feel privileged to have read almost everything, but not as privileged as I feel to have been included in this book. I'm proud of her talent and her dedication. I'm proud of her determination. I'm proud of her in a million big and small ways, but mostly I'm proud to be her daughter. Good luck tonight, ma'am. We're raising a glass over here. A different perspective from her publishers at Lapwing, Belfast. Valerie Masters is representative of the new Irish poetess. This is a generation of writers who have stepped out of the kitchen, out of the office to write reality poems rather than ornamental verses. They have grabbed at literary liberty, not always with big publishers, but with small presses and online poetry sources and resources. If culture doesn't evolve, it ossifies. The sonnet was almost killed in Victorian times simply because so many writers of all degrees rattled them off. Literary conventions can ensure that the new and different are safely locked away from the reader. The outsider is automatically excluded, very much in the way that Joyce was excluded until other outsiders, such as Sylvia Beach and Black Sun, published his work. What is new if it is smothered at birth? How can a writer's exploration of language and linguistic possibilities be shared if the work cannot be published? How can a writer explore the deepest elements of human nature if every word is subject to repressive and oppressive ideologies? Valerie could easily have written about an obsession with growing spuds, an obsession with money, with an SUV or golf, going to mass on Sundays. Instead, she explores the reality of love, sexual and otherwise, and particularly the obsessive nature of relationships. For myself, I believe Valerie has a number of specific attributes that set her apart. First is her voice. She's direct, she's honest, she's powerful. I'm delighted to be able to launch her second book and would like to invite the lady herself to come up and read from it.
Did you like English or poetry when you were at school?
In school I loved English, hated poetry. Didn't connect one with the other at all. Prose, stories, everything I loved. Poems, no, it was all rhyme format, didn't like it. It was work, poetry was to me. When I was young, in national school, the English part I loved, but the spelling was a huge problem for me. And I always got the spellings wrong. Sister Kathleen would say, pull your socks up. I hated long socks. I spent a couple of years thinking I'd spell better if I had long socks. It became just a battle. But all the time I was writing stories and loving the English part of it. I didn't associate the poetry with the English at all. Went to the Tech, again, loved the English. Willie Dowler was a teacher of mine, huge influence in my life anyway. So he made it a lot easier. Marion Barnes was another teacher, she made it a lot easier. But still didn't have any love or concept of poetry and how it worked, didn't dare touch it.
So what brought you to write a book of poetry?
I continued writing until about 2000. Joined the local Ballymahon writers group in the year 2000. Loved that. We'd get like homework. She'd give us topics to write about and fought with me over poetry, wouldn't touch it. First few years, no way. Then she really got down with me, and for about 4 months she was at me, just try putting something into a format. Gave me a picture out of a newspaper clipping, sent it home with me, just try it. Wrote one that night, brought it back to the group. A couple of weeks later, they loved it, and I fell in love with poetry. And I've been writing it ever since.
And what brought you then to write your second book of poetry?
The second book of poetry, when the first one was finished, it went very well, and I continued writing poetry, but nothing I wanted to put into a book. And then last year I began to look at a deeper side of loving someone. Could you get obsessed? Could you be that addicted to somebody that you couldn't live without them? From her point of view, I began the process of saying, well, she's in love with him, she needs him. And then I thought, well, what would he say if he was just as much in love with her? And it became like an end game, who loved who more. The more she told him she loved him, the more he was determined she knew how he felt. So it became almost a battle to who loved who more, who became more obsessed. And it stayed until it was finished.
Very good. And then the design of the book?
The design of the book happened very quickly. I had sent the back cover little poem to the publisher. He pretty much put the rest of it together himself. He did the quote from Adrian Henry. Then he emailed me and said, what did I want on the front? I had no clue. So I rang my daughter, she's 9 hours ahead in South Korea, woke her up and said to her, can you do me an image? So in her half asleep state, she was like, what book are you writing? What way do you want it? And I told her it was Obsession, and I just wanted something simple to kind of portray her in the book. And 3 days later she emailed me the cover. I sent it to the publisher. I hadn't told the publisher who the artist was at any point. I just told him I knew an artist. She was qualified, she'd studied. She had done her art in the convent, loved it, went to college. So I had no bones about asking her to do something. I knew she would come through for me. Sent the image to him, he fell in love with it, and the rest is history. It went on the cover.
Can we just, once again, salute and honour the poet and writer from Ballymahon, Valerie Masters.
I'm from England.